What's up guys, it's Glopey and welcome back to another Call of Duty video. Today we're going to be starting a brand new series within my channel called Top 10. This is basically where I count down from either the top 10 attachments, top 10 assault rifles, top 10 maps within COD, or something along those lines. And I basically count down from 10 being the worst and number 1 being the best, but not necessarily top 10. 10 being the worst, but also in my top 10. So basically this is a series where I give you guys my top 10 within different aspects of the Call of Duty history. I know another YouTubers have done this, quite a fair amount of people have done this, so I decided I might as well give my own go at trying this. And today's video is the top 10 attachments within Call of Duty history. This is basically all the Call of Duties, and what I feel out of all the Call of Duties is the top 10 attachments. Starting from number 10, what I feel is, let's say it did make it into the top 10, but not the worst attachment, is extended mags. I know not much people do use this, but having more bullets in your magazine can get you that kill easy. And I've got to tell you, extended mags on SMGs work very well just because you do get more bullets to kill people at shorter range. That's exactly why I picked extended mags for number 10. Number 9 is a attachment that we usually use on, let's say, assault rifles, and that is a red dot sight. Now, basically the red dot sight just allows you to see more clearly than the actual iron sights in the gun. And I put that at number 9 just because it isn't really important as the other attachments, because some people would rather have other attachments instead of red dot, but red dot is just one good attachment to use on an assault rifle if you want to get long range kills easier. And I've got to say, I do usually use them on my assault rifles, and that is why I picked that for number 9 on my top 10 list. Number 8 is actually a pretty cool attachment that came from Modern Warfare 2, and that is the heartbeat sensor. If you don't know what the heartbeat sensor is, it's basically a little TV kind of screen on an assault rifle or an SMG, and it tells where enemies are nearby. If they don't have cold-blooded or a different perk on, it won't show them. But I put this at my number 8 because I thought it was very tactical using it. I know a lot of people would say it is very newbie, but if you go back in the days of Modern Warfare 2, this was probably one of the best or one of the funnest attachments to use. As I said before, a lot of people did think this was quite newbie, but they could have put on cold-blooded if they want to, but I guess in a way they did get mad when people did use it, and that was my number 8 out of my top 10 list. For number 7 is a attachment that we usually use on our pistols. Usually a lot of people did use this within the Modern Warfare 2 days, and nowadays a lot of people do put these on their pistols. I haven't seen much people do it on Ghost, but that's actually the tack knife within COD Ghost, or pretty much any COD. A lot of people do put it on, and I think that originated from Modern Warfare 2 when it firstly came out, and that was on the 7th on my top 10 list. But why I chose it is just because I think that is probably the best attachment for the pistol, because you can pretty much run around, shoot people with your pistol, and knife them if they get close, and it is a really fun attachment to use if you know how to knife correctly. So that was my top 7 out of my top 10 list. So number 6 is a attachment that quite a few people do put on in Call of Duty Ghost, and that is muzzle brake. Now, a muzzle brake just basically essentially allows you to have extra damage within your gun, and who pretty much doesn't like that? It doesn't give an overall too much damage. It might be an extra less 2 shots to kill or less 1 shot to kill, but in different circumstances having muzzle brake will definitely help your weapon. And I've got to say that does come into number 6 just because a lot of people do use it on a regular basis, and personally I don't think it's a newbie at all to use it, because I know a few other people do use it as well. For number 5, what I have for my top 5, or the top 5 that is coming up, and number 5 is actually the laser sight from Black Ops 2. If you don't know what the laser sight is, basically you'd shoot a little laser from your gun and it would let you, it's pretty much steady aim perk but with the laser sight. But the reason why I added this in is because everyone on Black Ops 2 I saw with the submachine gun pretty much added laser sight on, and if you don't know anything about the laser sight, it does look really cool in a submachine gun. But as I said before, it is a really good essential attachment if you're going to be using a SMG within Black Ops 2, because it will get you the hip firing easy. So that was my top 5, or my 5th one out of my top 10 list. Number 4 I can't remember what it's called, but if I do get it wrong, it will pop up on screen with the actual name, and that is the MMS site. I do believe it what it's called in Black Ops 2. Basically, this attachment or this site allowed you to see people through walls if they were standing still. So in a way, it wasn't really too overpowered, but I gotta say, a lot of people did use it. So if you're standing still with this attachment, you could see through, I think, maybe 2 or 3 walls at a distance. You couldn't really see fully away, but you could see people through walls if they were standing still. So basically, the only way to counter this was to keep moving around. But I've got to say, this was number 4 just because how cool it was, and a lot of people did quite like it, although some people did say was quite newbie back in Black Ops 2, but it was a fun attachment to use. So moving over to the top 3, the third one I'm going to give you guys is one that not too much people have looked at, but this applies to pretty much all snipers, and that is FMJ. Now, FMJ originated from Modern Warfare 2, and pretty much every sniper put it on. Practically, it allows you, I think it does let you get more damage to your opponent. Not only that, but I think if you shoot through the walls, it penetrates that person much easier. But I know for a fact a lot of snipers do use it, and that is pretty much the reason why I put it into number 3, because FMJ is a really good perk for a light machine gun, in my opinion, if you're going to be taking down helicopters within COD Ghost. But I believe it's called armor piercing in Ghost as well. So that was my third one. Moving on to the top 2, my second one is a attachment that quite a few people do use on Ghost, and it's been around through most of the CODs, and that is the thermal sight. Now, the thermal sight is just absolutely amazing to pick people off at medium range to long range, because you can see them in a white glow. Not only that, but if you throw a smoke grenade, you can see people through it with the thermal. I didn't decide to add a tracker sight within the top 10 because personally I find the thermal sight to be better, but the thermal sight in COD Ghost also allows you switch to a red dot sight, unlike other CODs when you were stuck with only the thermal sight. But using a thermal on a sniper and an LMG is really good for picking people off at long distances. So that was my second one. And now for number 1, or my top attachment that I do like. As I said before, this whole top 10 is based on what I feel was the best. Number 1 has to be hands down the silencer or the suppressor. Without a doubt, within the whole COD series, if you want to stay on a good streak and not get killed, having a suppressor or a silencer is just the way to go, because no one will be able to see you on the minimap, and more or less you will become a ninja. That's exactly why I added it to number 1. Not much people would think about using silencer, but a lot of people really do use silencer, and I've got to say, it's probably one of the most used attachments within Ghost and pretty much any other COD, as well as the red dot sight. But I thought that was number 1 because it gives you the edge, and it also does become makes you silent across the map, and it just I don't know why, but it's just a really good attachment for me to use, and I usually use it because, as I said before, it does get me quite a bit of kills, and it does keep you off the mini-map, which is also an awesome thing. But the thing with the silencer is that it does decrease long range if you're shooting someone at long range, and it also decreases damage, but I don't think it decreases it that much. But that was number 1, and that was my top 10 list within all the attachments within COD history, and that was a top 10 list on what I believe my top 10 attachments are. If you guys do have your other top 10 attachments, or you have your own, please tell me down below in the comment section, because I want to know what you guys do think about your own top 10 list, because I'll be quite intrigued to find out what is your guys' top 10 attachments. So leave that down below for your top 10 attachments, and I'll probably reply to you if you do put it down. But nonetheless, I hope you have enjoyed today's video. I know it's a bit long, but it is pretty interesting to see the top 10 attachments within Call of Duty history. If you do want more, be sure to smack that like button down below. Let's see if we're going to hit 60 plus likes on today's video, and also subscribe if you're new. Tell me down below if I should continue this series. I will be doing other stuff not many other YouTubers have done, and I might also do a top 5 as well. But nonetheless, if you have enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Globe out.